want to kind of pick up where we were talking about. We were working in PowerPoint, and the title of the session is How to Create a Winning Presentation. I had kind of thought about doing for those of you who were on the first call, I had thought about doing a PowerPoint about just giving you some tips and ideas as far as, here's what you should include in a presentation that's a winning presentation. And then I kind of got to thinking, it might be kind of fun, and I haven't done this for a while, where we just kind of get in to PowerPoint. We start just building some PowerPoint and showing you how to use PowerPoint. So in the first session, and we won't go back over a lot of that, I basically went into showing you how to develop and build a presentation. And we kind of discussed several areas, key areas you needed to be familiar with. Let me swap these displays here. And that is, when you're building a presentation, you need to remember who your audience is. Who's the customer you're presenting to? Because each type of customer will have a different type of a need. The expired presentation really needs to be different than the for sale by owner presentation. And then we need to have some data about the market. You have to show the consumer what's happening in the marketplace. Not just real estate data, but other facts and information is helpful. And we talked about using RPR, and I showed you some really cool ways that you could use RPR. And then we want to talk about the value, because as you build your presentation, really it's all coming down to what's the value the consumer is going to receive from doing business with you. And then we wanted to talk about some of the tools that you can use in technology to really wow the folks and get them excited about that. And so as we build this presentation, we need to remember those 4 core areas. Who's our audience? What's going on in the marketplace? What's the value we want to bring to the folks, or tell them or give them the value that we have? And then what are some other things that we can do that might impress them? So we want to build a presentation. We kind of started doing that last week, and I showed you some pieces about building the presentation, some resources to use. We also discussed some resources that you might use, and I'll quickly go over those in just a minute, such as RPR, Snagit. I'm going to show you a few more of those. And then I kind of intertwined and showed you some shortcuts with PowerPoint, like how to duplicate a slide and how to quickly build a slide from scratch. Those are in the first presentation. And then I want to go over today some tips for presenting and some other technology tools that I think are kind of interesting and neat. So just to review, I'm going to click Open Recent. I'm going to do this Slideshare template. And one of the things that I was talking about here is I'm going to delete all of these slides but one. And as we some shortcuts, tips, and tricks that I was talking about, the first one is what is called Control D, as in Delta or dog. If you hold the Control key and the D key down, it will duplicate a slide. Or if you're using a MacBook, it's the Command key plus the D, or duplicate, Delta or dog, will duplicate a slide. That's pretty useful to know, because now I've deleted that slide and I'm thinking, how am I going to get that slide back? Well, another shortcut is the Command key, and the Z will undo what you've just incorrectly deleted. So you want to use that Command D or Control D key, because it really saves you a lot of time. And once you can build a slide, whoops, lost my slides there. Once you build this slide the way you want it, it's real easy to then duplicate that slide by Command D. Now we have this is what I call the title page or the title slide. It's going to be at the front of the PowerPoint. It's also going to be at the back of the PowerPoint. In the middle, I just have my logo, I have my web address, my phone number, and a photograph of the house. Now I'm going to go in and actually build a quick PowerPoint and show you how quickly I can do this. I'm going to delete that key or that slide, but remember I need one at the beginning and the end. So what I'm going to do first of all is change this picture. So I'm highlighting this picture right here on the front page. And if you right click your mouse, you have the option to change the picture. See that right here? So all I did was highlight the picture one time with my mouse, right click my mouse, change picture, and now I'm going to go find an exterior picture of that particular property. Now I believe, and I'm going to just, let's go out here to one day I will, on our calls, I will explain to you how I use my paperless office. So I'm going to just go down here to photos because I know it's here. And I'm going to scroll all the way down. I apologize that I have to do this way, but let's see. I want to go to events. This will be a lot quicker. And here we go. This picture right here. And I was thinking, where are my photographs at? So I'm going to take this particular picture right here. And I'm going to go now to duplicate this slide. And to do that, I do Command D. Now I'll take this slide and I'll drag it underneath the first slide. Or I will drag it to the bottom. Now the reason I'm doing that is I want to have contact information at the beginning, contact information at the end. Now in the middle here, I'm going to select here, I'm going to highlight this picture, right click my mouse, change the picture. Unfortunately, it doesn't default back when I'm in pictures here. It's a long story. If I was in another folder, it would actually it would default to that folder. Now I'm going to do Command D again, or Control D. Whoops. Control D. I'm going to highlight duplicate the slide, highlight the picture, right click my mouse, change the picture, and you would go to your photo. Now, because I'm picking them from my iPhoto, it does not default back to default back to the most recent folder I had open. I can't explain why that is. It's just one of those goofy things that this particular. So I'm just going to pick a couple of, there's another view. Now remember, so we've got two views here. I'm going to click Control D or Command D. I want to create a new slide. See how I'm doing this? And I'm just right clicking my mouse, changing the picture, and I'll go find another photograph of that particular property. Normally, if you had, and sometimes I do that, but evidently I did not on this particular one. if I had these in a folder on my desktop, when I would change the picture, it would take me right back to that folder, so I would not have to go through this. So right click, we'll just add a few more, then I'll show you what we'll do at this next phase. Because after all, I mean, you don't want to have to feel like you have to add 9 million photos. You want to add as many as you can, because I think that's always good. And we'll Control D. Highlight the picture, change the picture, right click your mouse. Once you get the hang of this, it goes very quickly. So now I'm just going to grab a couple of other interesting photos. So I'll do Control D. Something there, you normally want to select a different slide and go back to the slide because it's like it's still selecting that picture, or you could hit the escape key. If not, you're just adding a picture on top of a picture. So we're going to change. I'm just going to do a couple more, and then I'm going to show you what we'll do with this. So go down to that photo, that because I can re-upload this a little bit later. So I'm just going to add. Now, if I hit the escape key, see the picture's still highlighted here. So if you hit the escape key, it takes the 4 little dots. Now I can do Command D or Control D, and it will give me a new opportunity, a new slide. So 2 more, and then we'll do something really cool with this. So I've got that. I'm going to just add this one here. You can also right click and hit duplicate slide. So last one, and then we're going to do some really cool stuff with this. The reason I'm going back through this is I want to show you, I wanted you to see just how easy and cool it is to be able to quickly make a PowerPoint slideshow. Now, I'd like to add several more, but for our sake, I'm not going to do that here. But a couple of tools I want to show you when you make a presentation up like this. And by the way, this is a good listing tool because sellers like this as well. There's 2 things I'm going to do with this. The first thing I'm going to do is select File, Save As, because I have this right now. It's called Slideshare Template for Mayfield Real Estate. In my documents, I have, let me move this over. I have a folder called 2 folders right here. The first one is called Mayfield Real Estate Slideshare Listings. The second one is called Mayfield Real Estate Picasa. Now, I want to select File, Save As, and I'm saving it in the Mayfield Real Estate Slideshare Listings. And I'm going to change this to the property address that I have listed, which is Glenwood Drive, Farmington, Missouri. In fact, I'd like to put the number of this. So I'm going to very quickly, if you don't mind, jump out here online. And we're going to go to the MLS. Because I want to show you a couple other things we can do here as well. This is 1013 Glenwood. Now, I don't have a ton of listings because I've sold about everything that I had, but I do more speaking than selling real estate. But 1013 Glenwood Drive, Farmington, Missouri. So I'm renaming this to that particular name. The reason I do that is I have a PowerPoint called Slideshare template. It's my basic template that I can use. And then I create the template and I save it as a different name. Now, that's the first step that I've done. I've made the PowerPoint, I've saved it as the street address name. We're going to now go out to the MLS, and I'm going to go to a website called slideshare.net. Okay? It's free. I've talked about this before. I've shown some tips on this before, and I've also talked about this in some of the classes and courses that I teach, but it's free. It's called slideshare.net. So you can set up an account for free, and I already have my account set up. So I'm going to log in, and now I just want to select the upload button up here in the right. So I'll select upload. I want this to be public. I'm going to select upload, and I want to go to documents, Mayfield Real Estate, Slideshare listings, remember that? And 1013 Glenwood. There it is, right there. And I'll select choose. Whoops. Sometimes this is like, we'll try it again here. This is like Geraldo Rivera. We could open the door, the vault, and nothing is in the vault. But I just never let stuff like that bother me. We just go out and try it again. So documents, Mayfield Real Estate Slideshare listings, 1013 Glenwood, choose the file, and now it's going. My own preference is why it converts everything to lowercase, I don't know, but that's kind of a pet peeve of mine. So I'm going to change those lowercase to uppercase. I should see if that's some kind of trick for Google. I don't think it is, but so it's uploading. I want to choose the category as real estate, and I want to put a description. Now this is why I have the MLS open, because why try to reinvent the wheel if you've already taken the time to add description? So I highlight that, right click my mouse, and copy. I go back over. I just have an extra tab open. If you're not used to opening additional tabs, it saves you a lot of time. Now I put my cursor, right click my mouse, and paste. See how I did that? And here I have a little program that I use called, I have to search for it a different way, called Text Expander. There it is right there. I had turned it off the other day, so we'll turn it back on. I love Text Expander. It's one of my favorite shortcuts. It's not a very expensive software program. If you're using a Windows, you want to use a software called Short Keys. Short Keys, write that down. If you use a Mac, you can use Text Expander. And notice I have, this is video copy. I also have tags for internet. And here's tags for blog. So if I type in TAGS1, it will put all of these tags right into this field. So watch this. I'm going to type TAGS1, and look what it's done. It's added all of my tags with a comma, so I do not have to do that manually. And why is this important? Well, if anyone's searching for any of those keywords, they would find this. Now, I just discovered something. I have two sets of tags. That is, or those tags are for my technology post. So I don't want those to be with this. This is a real estate Slideshare. So with my cursor in the tags line, I'm going to press Command A or Control A, the control key, and the A as in Apple key to select all or everything on that line, and now I'll select the delete key. It's no need to panic because I have tags for Mayfield Real Estate. See this? Because this has my zip code, real estate for sale, and several other things. And the label is Tags May. So when I type in TAGSMAY space, I got to do a capital M. It puts all of those keywords in there. Farmington, zip code, houses for sale, rentals, because even renters might be interested in buying something, right? A doctor relocating to the area. So all of my tags are in there. And now all I have to do is select Save and Continue. Now, here's what's called the embed code. If I put my cursor in that line and I select Control A or Command A, remember, for selecting all or everything, I can now right-click my mouse and copy that. Okay? So let's take a look at the presentation. Here's what it looks like. And there are, 10 slides, which is really probably enough. You don't want to have too many slides. I want them to call me and go look at it. And I've got my contact information at the beginning and the end of the presentation. Right here, there's the property. I don't have a price because if we do a price reduction, I don't want to have to go back out and upload a new PowerPoint. Everything's clean and safe. All right. Now I'm going to open a new tab and I'm going to go up and I'm going to select my Mayfield Real Estate website. And I'm going to log in. To my website. It always makes me log in twice. Do not ask me why. I have no idea, but it's always 2 times I have to do this. I'm going to go to Listings. And here's my property. I'm going to select Edit. And I'm going to select Text. And I'm going to put my cursor down at the bottom. And I'm going to right-click and paste. Remember the gobbledygook we got a minute ago? From over here, when I highlighted all of this and right-clicked my mouse and copied, that's called the embed code. That's what I'm putting right over here. Now, I will publish this or update. And I will view this post. And here is my little PowerPoint presentation that's now embedded on my website. And we did all of that by creating this PowerPoint, saving it, and then uploading it to slideshare.net. So that was the first thing I wanted to show you. The second thing you can do that's really cool with PowerPoint is that you can go up here and select File, Save as Pictures. See this right here? So now I can save this as pictures, and I don't want to save it in the SlideShare. I want to save it in a new folder I've created called Mayfield Real Estate Picasa. And I select Save, and it's going to tell me that it has copied each one of the slides, has been saved as a photograph in my Documents folder, Mayfield Real Estate Picasa, and a new folder called 1013 Glenwood Drive. Now, what's that mean? Gosh, John, you're getting too techie on me here. Well, remember, we saved that in the Documents folder. Same thing on Windows. There's a Documents folder. We saved that in a Mayfield Real Estate Picasa. All I did was create a new folder here. New folder. And I called it Mayfield Real Estate Picasa. You could just call it whatever. I just remember these. I have Mayfield Real Estate SlideShare. That's the PowerPoint. But remember, these are photographs. There it is. And each one of those slides was created into a photograph. See that? Now, here's why I do this. What I've done is I saved my SlideShare with the street name, and then I saved it as photographs in two different locations. There's a program called, we'll open another tab, see why I work in tabs. If you go to Google and you type in the word Picasa, there's a really cool download called Picasa right here. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. That's what I like about Picasa. And so we download Picasa onto our computer. Now I'll go start Picasa. And when I open up Picasa, there it is right there. By the way, they have it for Windows and Mac, doesn't matter. If you'll notice in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see a bunch of photos quickly moving over right down here. Picasa is going out and it's looking at, since the last time I started the program, what new photographs have I added? And it's found some new photographs, and it's just updating everything into the system. Now, if we come right up here, look, it found, remember I just created this. I just created a folder called 1013 Glenwood Drive, Farmington. And these are photographs, remember? That's what Picasa did. It said, hey, computer, we found some new photographs for this property on Glenwood Drive. We're going to grab them and bring them over here into Picasa. Now the pictures are in Picasa. Well, there's a couple of really cool things you can do here. Number one, I'm going to enable the sync, and I'm going to select sync. Now you'll notice right here, these little circles are popping up in the right-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner. That means Picasa is now, these pictures are now uploaded to the cloud, and they are stored in Google on the cloud. Now I'm going to turn my camera on for a moment. I don't see myself, but I see the light on, and so hopefully you're able to see me now. Those photographs are also, I can access these on my smartphone because I have a Picasa application for my phone. I have my iPad over here. I could pull it up, and I don't have it right in front of me, but I can also access the photos that we just uploaded from my iPad or from any internet connection. So they're available from mobile devices. So if someone calls me or I'm out in the field, I can literally show them the pictures right here on my smartphone, which is kind of neat. Now I'm going to turn my camera back off, and I'm going to show you something else that's really cool about this. If we go back out here to, if I go to Google and I go to my Google Plus page. Now this is my Business Tech Guy page. So I have a couple of Google Plus pages, so I'm going to sign out here. And I'm going to sign in. You might say, why in the world do you have more than one Google Plus account? Someday, when I'm just selling real estate or just doing something else, I hope that I don't have more than one Google page, because it's a little bit too much. Okay, so here's my profile page, and there's some interesting things here. Number one, there's a VA webinar I did recently for Mayfield Real Estate. And number two, I must be on a different page, because I wanted to show you my profile. Let's see. I wanted to show you because they normally, and it might just be that I haven't shared this yet. I may have to go over to Picasa, but you will see that sometimes those actually come across from YouTube. Now we're going to do one more thing, and maybe perhaps that will come across here in just a second. So I'm going to go back to Picasa, and there's a little film strip right here called Create a Presentation. Now I don't like that cover page, so I'm going to delete that. So I'll remove that because I created my own cover page. And remember, we have one at the beginning and the end. So I'm going to select the YouTube button right over here. And I'm going to go back out to my internet, right click and copy. And I'll just, I don't know. My telephone's talking to me. That's weird. And I'm going to put this as education. And remember, on the tags, I just do TAGS, capital MAY. And it's put all those in. Make the video public. Upload the video. The video, this is now actually being uploaded to YouTube. And we'll take a look here when it's done. So it's uploading the movie. It just does a little Ken Burns effect. So it's nothing fancy. By the way, with this, you can add video if you want to add video in between the still photographs. My philosophy is don't make it too complicated. Don't put prices and things that you're going to have to go out and change or update. The main goal is you want to get it out online. So here it is, and 95% processed. Takes it a little minute. I'm being overly too anxious. Here it is. So we've got it online at YouTube. Now, if we come back here to Google Plus, I'm going to refresh my Google Plus page. People are out here looking at this. It should show up here shortly. There it is right there. So as people are coming out here, it's being processed, they're going to see various items that you're posting, and they're going to be going out to your Google Plus account. So just to kind of recapture or review what we've gone over, because it's been a lot. We took the PowerPoint, we saved it as a PowerPoint, uploaded it to Slideshare. We've also took the PowerPoint, saved it as photos, and then took that folder into Picasa, enabled the sync, which now has all of our photos synced with our phone, our iPad, other devices, so we can access those wherever we are. If we're out in the field and we have some people that want to look at some properties we have listed, boom, we can go right to it. We've also then sent that video to YouTube right from Picasa, which is now, so now my property, my listing is on Slideshare. It's on YouTube. I've embedded that on my website, and you saw it. It only took me a couple of minutes. It's now on my Google Plus page. I mean, we're really getting some traction out on the internet. And some of the things I talk about in my recent classes that I teach, this is the world that we live in now. People are going and looking for information all over the place. And you don't know where they could find your information. It's showing there it hasn't processed, but that will. Here's the video right there. But notice how I was able to do that using PowerPoint and moving that, just quickly creating a really powerful PowerPoint, being able to do that. Those are some of the tech tools I wanted to show you with that. Now, we talked about building our PowerPoint in the first presentation, and I encourage you to go back and watch that if you didn't. But we talked about RPR and places and resources. You could get some interesting things. We also talked about Camtasia. We didn't talk about Camtasia Studio, but we talked about Snagit and how you could snag different items and some cool things that you can do there. The other thing, and I just want to briefly talk about this because we're kind of running out of time, and then on January 8th, when we start the Java with John, I'll probably pick up on some more PowerPoint and some various things you can do with it. But another really cool tool, a couple of quick tools I want to remind you about here that I had is there's a website called techsmith.com. And at techsmith.com under products, there's a couple of, we talked about Snagit last week. They also have a product called Jing. And Jing is free. It doesn't cost anything. And what I like about Jing and how I show people how I use Jing, I'm going to close a couple of programs down here so we don't overload, is with Jing, let me load it up so you can see what it looks like. Here it is. And they have it for both Windows and Mac. Jing allows you to select a certain portion of the computer screen and then record that in video. Whoops. So here is, whoops, there we go. I got too many things up there in the corner. Here we go. I got to get back to my PowerPoint though. So Jing allows you to highlight a certain part of the screen, and right down here I can capture the video. Jing will allow me to actually create, this is just another way that you could do a YouTube video, and as you click on each slide on the side, you could describe the home, the features, the price, what you like about the home, what you think the folks will like about the home, and then hit the finish button, and it actually has created a little mini movie right here. And so now I can share this on screencast. I can save it and email it. I can even customize and add a YouTube link or a Twitter or a Facebook and do the same process we just did a minute ago. That's Jing, and it's from TechSmith. Very interesting little software. I'll talk about Camtasia one day on some of our coaching calls and show you how to use that. But that's a really cool little application as well. And a couple of other things you might think about building presentations. I think it's Haiku Deck. That's kind of dangerous to do. Here it is. Haiku, Haiku Deck, which is short for Japanese poetry. That's really good for this for your PowerPoint. I'll talk about all these. I've got every other week. I got to come up with some stuff to talk about. So we'll use these as part of our. And SlideShark is another one. I love SlideShark. If you have an iPad, does a great job creating presentations that you can now share via SlideShark. The other two things I had down that I wanted to be sure and tell you on presentations is you can always save this PowerPoint as a PDF right there. You can even save it as a movie. I'm going to just save this as a movie and let's see what happens. So we're saving this as a movie on my desktop. And if we go out to the desktop, it actually just took that PowerPoint and created a little bitty movie. And you could upload that to YouTube as well. You wouldn't even have to go through all the Picasa, although I like Picasa because it does allow you to sync those with your iPhone and so in a couple of other ways. Well, we covered a lot of ground today, and you can go back and watch the first PowerPoint presentation where we really talk more about how to build the PowerPoint and copying and adding graphics and so forth. I really wanted to, because we ran out of time, it was going to be a 1 hour webinar, but I wanted to go through and just show you, first of all, how you can use Slideshare, your Google Plus account, how you could use Picasa, some of these other features to really get the word out there about your listings, because that's really the key. Is we've got to get our information out to as many sources as possible. And I think that PowerPoint is such a wonderful program, and you can, once you get the hang of it and you are familiar with it, you can really do some cool things with it. You can make flyers, you can make ebooks, you can make presentations to win more listings. Well, I appreciate you joining today's webinar. Be sure and sign up for my every other Thursday coaching calls twice a month. I guess we could have a month where we do 3 times in 1 month, but twice a month. Tell others about it. It's free. My goal is I'd love to be able to get on each Thursday and see several hundred folks that want to learn and talk about technology. I will open it up. If anybody has any questions, you're welcome to ask a question, and I'll be happy to answer those. I see a question that came in. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate the kind comments. But join me every other Thursday starting in 2015. Have a great new year. I've got lots of cool things I'm writing down to talk about, and anything that you need more help with, let me know, because we'll just spend time doing that. Appreciate your time. Have a great afternoon.